Happy Saturday, and welcome to the Ramashram Satsang Weekend Workshop, where you will learn a modern Satsang method for obtaining peace, light, and love in your life. My name is Eddie, and I will be introducing the facilitator for today's event. But first, I'd like to give you a brief overview of this Satsang session. If you direct your attention towards your screen, you'll see the first element is Satsang. Satsang is a scientific method whereby we may obtain peace, light, and love in our life. It requires no physical skill, spiritual accomplishment, or meditation experience to begin its practice. Satsang consists of two words, Sat and Sang. Sat means positive energy, and Sang means to be with or to be in the presence of. Therefore, the word Satsang means to be in the presence of positive energy. The next element is meditation. Meditation is an important part of Satsang. When we meditate, we withdraw consciousness from worldly objects and direct it inwards to focus on a single thought. In doing so, our minds become calm and our thoughts become pure, thereby allowing us to obtain higher states of consciousness, such as enlightenment, peace, light, and love. Inner orientation. There are two types of satsang, inner satsang and outer satsang. An example of outer satsang would be chanting or attending pilgrimages. When we practice outer satsang, we have the potential to change our behavior, but only through the practice of inner satsang can we obtain higher states of consciousness, such as enlightenment, peace, light, and love. The satsang that you will learn today is an inner satsang, where we meditate in silence. Group session. These weekend workshops are structured for group participation. When we meditate as a group, our focus is improved and our personal progress along our spiritual path is expedited. By regularly attending these weekend workshops, the benefits of group participation are amplified. Joy and inner happiness. All beings wish to experience joy. Joy is the eternal longing of the soul, but only through the practice of inner satsang can we obtain a joyous state. Each time we practice satsang, our inner happiness gradually increases, ultimately culminating in a state of joy, which we experience 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The agenda for today consists of 3 sessions: the informative session, the practice session, and the interactive session. During the informative session, a lecture will be given about a satsang topic, the founder, or some relevant spiritual topic. During the practice session, you'll receive instructions on how to meditate, followed by a period of practice. During the interactive session, you have the opportunity to ask questions, or there'll be a panel discussion. And now, I'd like to introduce the facilitator for today's event. He has over 40 years of satsang experience. He's the grandson of Guru Maharaj, the founder of Ramashram Satsang. He was born into a satsang family where he experienced his family members obtain states of enlightenment and lead lives of peace, light, and love. At an early age, he began traveling with the mission throughout India, facilitating satsangs. And during that time, he witnessed the positive effects that satsang could have on mankind. And upon arriving to the United States, both he and his wife continued to facilitate satsangs for local satsangees. He has led teams of satsang members and translating important satsang literature into English, and has worked tirelessly to make satsang more accessible to Western and English-speaking audiences. He currently travels throughout the United States, India, and England facilitating satsangs while maintaining his duties as a husband, a father, and an IT executive. Today, he will lead us in a rare and ancient form of satsang as taught by Guru Maharaj. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Sanjeev Kumarji. Okay. Sanjeev ji will join us briefly. Please enjoy the music until he arrives.
So happy Saturday, everyone. Sorry, I just uh, I was actually, believe it or not, translating one of my father's um, uh, videos which talked about a brief history of this satsang. So I thought let's spend a few minutes on that. And it's not done, but I've gotten at least more than halfway there. So a few minutes on that, and then we'll, as usual, practice. I think satsang is all about embodying transcendental energy that should, get us to a higher place. And as usual, Eddie must have done a great job on talking about like how inner satsang, the group sessions and all that do the same thing. Um, so, uh, you know, last week there was a in-person in Manchester. That's where this video that played, which talks about a brief history. And we also have, just as an FYI, another in-person coming where I am planning to be there this coming President's Day weekend in the San Francisco Bay Area. So, as some of the, things that you might have seen, satsang was established in 1930. And, this process has, primarily been focused in Northern India, but it's something that was, designed to transcend religion. And that's what I think my father was talking about in this video, that it was established in 1930. And this is like a small town, Eta, in northern state of Uttar Pradesh in India. It's about 150 miles southwest of Delhi and 50 miles from Taj Mahal, which a lot of people might know where that is. So founded by my grandfather, Dr. Chaturved Sahaji, who resided there at that time. And the name Ramashram came from his guru, Lalaji Maharaj, Sri Ramchandraji. And it was started as one of the directives given by him. So when he told Guru Maharaj to go ahead and share what he had learned with others, he said that the work that I haven't been able to finish, you carry on, and I have provided you with all my spiritual capabilities, and you shape this spiritual pursuit, in a way that it transcends religion, various religious sects, and not to drive it towards specific groups or castes or anything like that. So and basically that's what Guru Maharaj took in spirit and moved forward. In around 1933, it was observed that to get the word out, a monthly journal is required. So in August of 33, Guru Maharaj started a Hindi monthly journal, Sadhan. So if I translate that, Sadhan means a spiritual pursuit for vertical ascent. So something to any effort that you make to get to a higher ground, and then slowly he wrote a whole lot of books, which includes one of the 7-volume, you know, a 28 chapter book on his spiritual journey, and a lot of concepts that he describes. You know, one of my you know, inner peace talks that I have given various cities. This is one chapter in that 7-volume book, which you know, so hopefully there will be a lot more that could come out of that itself, apart from other books. There is one more book on devotion, and how devotion is something that all of us pursue. You know, we're devoted to just making money, or we're devoted to our country, we're devoted to our family. All that is devotion too, but then there is a higher devotion, and then he describes all that there. That's also something that I've been trying to, you know, right now get some pieces, but I think it might come out as a book form in English, hopefully. So then he says that initially the name was Ramashram Satsang, in the name of his guru. And when he moved to Mathura, you know, then to differentiate, because from Dada Guru Maharaj, which is his guru, allowed several people to create these satsangs. So, and everybody named it Ramashram Satsang. So to differentiate this, he made it Ramashram Satsang Mathura. And what he points out is that Guru Maharaj slowly gave up many of the ritualistic traditions and activities and gave it a shape that we currently see, you know, to make it more universal, more adaptable to people across, you know, cultures and countries. So this method, referred as satsang, has some spatial, you know, characteristics. And first, he again says that, you know, it is designed to transcend religion. Hence, it is for the benefit of the entire humanity. The process here is that you take the transcendental light, and those who have been, you know, practicing anyway, I think it's just a description in his words, that you take the transcendental light from the choice of your source. So it could be God, Guru, or any belief system, any prophet that you follow. You take this transcendental energy in form of light coming from any conscious source of your choice, because when you meditate on light, it actually, he says, in itself, very universal. He then also goes to say that you believe, you don't believe, you believe in a form or formless, all of those concepts. And, you know, so light is this, you know, focusing on light. It's like God is light, Khuda is Noor, Ishwar Prakash hai, Tej hai. So all these religions also in some way, shape or form, you know, believe that light is opposite of darkness, is depicts knowledge, and so on and so forth. So, so light is a universal form, and that could be pursued as a focus or focal point for meditation, you know, and you could meditate on it, and the whole humanity can pursue this meditation and benefit from it. This process makes, so then he goes further into the process. This process makes you an observer. It is primarily a method that can be referred as Upasana Yoga, which is Upasana as, if you translate it, it's to sit in front. So you are sitting in front of a source of transcendental light. It has Karma Yoga and Gyan Yoga also aspects of that built into it. It can also be referred to as Drashta Yoga or Samarpan Yoga, because the person meditating is not doing anything. So that's why it could be like Drashta is like an observer. So Drashta Yoga is like, because the person meditating is not doing anything, it's the art of doing nothing. The person is just observing. This meditation done 15, 20 minutes, morning and evening, in days could take you farther than a lot of yogis would get to in months. So if you intend to pursue an effective and efficient method to get to higher conscious levels, this is very effective. And then I haven't completed this, but another aspect that he talks about is, as you might have already seen here, there is no guru-disciple relationship. So because traditionally it was more official, formal relationship, hence he said there was a distance created. So even in India, people used to refer to Guru Maharaj as, brother, father, uncle, etc., a close friend. So that is another thing, another ritual or another aspect that was changed by Dada Guru Maharaj and Guru Maharaj. And the intent is to pursue together the path to the ocean of peace, or to a higher ground, to higher consciousness levels. And that's what we'll do now. So let's get into it. So how do we do this? Sit in a relaxed and still posture, so that for 15, 20 minutes, or I would say 30 minutes, you can stay still. And as I think last week we were talking about, staying still is why asanas were part of the Ashtanga Yoga. The physical exercises, breathing exercises were to get to a point where you could stay still for a period of time, period of meditation. So that's the intent. Why? Because every time your body moves, your mind moves with it. You want to stay focused inwards. So you want to, your mind, which is using all its energy to go outside towards the world. During this meditation, we want to do inward orientation, which is one of the 8 limbs of Ashtanga Yoga. 4 of those 8 limbs are referred to here as inner yoga, which is basically what we would practice now. So inward orientation is key. What we concentrate on, we talked about transcendental energy in form of light. And so for inward orientation, eyes lightly closed and still and relaxed posture. And now think, imagine, feel, manifest this transcendental energy in form of light. And as we were just listening, Upasana Yoga, sit in front. So this energy, this light is not far away. It's right here, right now with us. Feel the connection, feel the presence. And this immensely powerful, immensely positive light is right here, right now with us and in front of us. And it's entering our heart, distributing throughout our body. And we are becoming the light. We are getting completely and totally immersed in this light. So another aspect of inward orientation is that mind wanders away, because observing, being silent, being quiet, not in the culture, not natural anymore. So we need to practice. We need to, you know, somehow get our mind to drop all the barrage of thoughts and just focus on observing this transcendental light in form, transcendental energy in form of light, which is entering our heart, distributing throughout our body, and we're becoming one with this light. So that's the only focus. You do any mantras, you do any mindfulness, anything else, you can do it before or after, and it will actually, with this deep silent meditation on transcendental light, would help you in those pursuits as well. So it actually, um, you know, augments or supplements. So again, eyes lightly closed, still posture, and still in relaxed posture. And now you're thinking of this transcendental energy in form of light that's right here, right now with us. And that energy, that light is entering our heart, distributing throughout our body, and we're becoming one with this light. We are becoming the light. To help the concentration, to help the manifestation, we start with music, and then music fades away. Then we go into deep silent meditation. And then after some time, the music comes back and we transition out with music. Let's start. So happy Saturday, everyone. Glad that we are here in Satsang. Uh, so, thanks to everyone who has their video on. I would prefer that we, not only share our thoughts, questions, or any, um, you know, anything worth sharing in this forum with others, but also your video. Um, and you can also unmute and ask questions or comments, share comments, and you can do that in the chat as well. I was actually thinking about the second point that my father made in this video about, the guru-disciple relationship. And as you, uh, so my grandfather was called, referred to by lots of people as Guru Maharaj, but there were tons of people who would call him Chacha, which is uncle, or, refer with, like my father was, Chote Bhaiya, which is like younger brother to everyone. That's how people referred him. And one, I think I had shared like one story that came across was of a professor in a very well-renowned institution in India. He would, find deserving students who needed some help, and would help them pay the tuition and things like that. But the other thing about it was, uh, the folks, the students who he helped, he would also ask them to come to his house because he knew that they would find it difficult to concentrate and study because of various reasons. So he converted his living room into a study room for his students, and he would ask them after school to come for a couple of hours and study there. And if needed, even food was provided. And he instructed them that he is just a call away. So if you have any, questions, any difficulty in understanding a subject, he would come and help. And interestingly, that is what I saw happening in satsang. So I didn't see what was happening. I wasn't fortunate enough to see while Guru Maharaj was alive, but after that, my grandmother, my father, my uncles, my other mentors and leaders in satsang, people, their house was accessible. They were served food and whatever other, so it was not only, so think about this professor who, one, didn't need to do what he was doing with the needy students. Then he didn't need to go further than that. But all of that was, so I literally saw that, you don't have to call me a guru. You don't have to, even like there were people who would just come and go. They would just, practice, and, the practice sessions were open. And So it was very interesting. People, he would, I asked my father once that why did he travel so much during hot summer and cold winter days while he was at the university, and he said, like, there are people who can't travel to me, so I would go and you know um, so he would travel to various cities and places, and um, and the whole uh, objective there was just share this process that we just did with people to get to a higher level. um, Interestingly, when I started online sessions here, it was early on when Zoom, I think, didn't exist. There were other video platforms which were like in infancy, a lot of noise, audio quality was very poor, video quality was very poor. But, you know, I was inspired by my father, who used to, apart from his courses, he used to guide PhD students on quantum mechanics, etc., uh, uh, in the university. And when he used to come back, there were like 5, 10 people visiting him every day, just talking about, um, you know, these. It's like just while they were pursuing this method, he would guide them as well. And so I just thought, like, okay, so how do I stay connected to the roots? So I initially started a group, and then it became a video conference, and and slowly, these sessions, traditional sessions, continue, and these English sessions as well. So anyway, I'll pause there. So Steve, good to see you. Luz, Eddie, and everyone. Uh, any questions, thoughts, comments? Mary, Camilla. I see a lot of, a lot of folks are, um, they have been coming to these sessions. So I'm glad that the collective energy is getting better and better.
Well, happy Saturday, everyone. And happy Lunar New Year as well. It's the year of the dragon. That's a good animal or mythical being. And I really liked what,
they depict energy too, right? It's like,
that's true. Really beautiful, strong, positive energy. So I don't know, I'm excited. I really liked what you said about the teacher opening up his room to students, providing them snacks, just doing good for another being for no reason whatsoever, except wishing them well. That is a beautiful, beautiful thing to do. So thank you for sharing, reminding how nice that is. And it'd be great if we could find space in our lives to do that in some small measure, or a large measure if we can.
yeah, absolutely. Actually, I think spirituality, in my view, is or being at a higher level is just nothing but transforming how you connect with others, how you from me to more like giving and helping and sharing, a mindset shift.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, sometimes at first blush when I hear such a thing, I do think about I do think about people who suffer, right? And I'm not talking about the category of people on this call. I'm talking about people who live on the street and they don't have a roof over their head, and their meal is very, very much up in the air. And how, it's difficult for some people to give, right? Because they're in survival mode. But even those people do give. I remember once and in giving, right? I think in giving, you actually increase your own happiness too, elevate your situation, no matter what situation you're in, connection and giving. Because I remember one time I used to go out with a group and we used to like bring food to people who were living on the street. And it was really cold. But like, a lot of them band together in community, and they'll like take some food and save it for their friend, or they'll call their friend and be like, hey, there's a group here giving out food, do you want some? And it made my heart smile. Like, I was just like, really, community can help you transcend any situation, and goodness, like just giving, so I thought about that when you said that.
No, so Liz, what is very interesting is that in India, the way this satsang actually grew was that when they used to open up these sessions, and all big cities, towns, and even smaller towns in northern India, there are these 3-day, 5-session group meditation, always or mostly followed by free food, which certain people contribute, but a lot of people are served in that community. I don't know when I'll get to that level in these sessions where they're opened up to people who so as a collective energy, and the sharing that happens automatically, um, needs to translate to physical level serving as well. So that's integral in India. Here, I think we, probably will get there, but it's still trying to see when, how.
It's interesting too, that the ego plays even in that, because it's easy to give when you're in a position to do so. I mean, general, it should be anyway, but sometimes it's hard to receive. And receiving is also nice because you're giving to the other person that you're receiving from. You're giving them the feeling of, oh, I'm helping, and I'm connecting. And giving can be good. But receiving can interfere with the ego sometimes, interestingly, because there's, so I don't know. That's a tangent, but it's important to be able to do both.
Yeah, it's interesting part is that Guru Maharaj always used to say that I was given so much by my guru that whatever I share and everything I have, if I share, that will not be enough. So when giving becomes like almost unconditional and selfless, that's when it is real giving, quote unquote. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Cassandra, I think we had an interesting session in Manchester recently, and I am actually looking to be in London and Manchester area either in April or July. So let's see. We'll keep that going too. So Steve, how are you this morning?
Yeah. Excuse me. I'm well. Your teachings just made me think of a lot of things. I think as we work on ourselves, if we have that inner peace, it enables us to become advocates for social justice. Hopefully, if people can see a good aura in us, it enables us to empower people to do things for others. And you're talking about transcending religion. Maybe think of Muhammad Ali once said that he used the analogy of water, whether it's a river or a lake or a pond or a stream, it's water. And with religion, he said it's essentially the same thing. It's light. So when it's practiced with compassion and love and the right heart, it brings about goodness in the world. And this week I had a conversation with my students. I asked them to identify 10 countries that they thought were democracies. And then I asked them to think about the characteristics of countries with democracies. And what I was trying to get at is a sense of social justice, tolerance, respect for pluralism, and just getting people to understand that we're all human beings and we all come from that same light. So your message really resonated today.
Yeah, I have been thinking about, as though I don't have enough to do, to start a podcast on AI, artificial intelligence, democratization, in terms of, how the digital divide is kind of creating this, new form of haves and have-nots. So I was thinking, it's not just spiritual well-being that is important. I think, there are other aspects as well. So yeah, it resonates. And I was just lightly saying, hey, Steve, you're recorded, so I'll use this. It was so good. It was, I think, we need to talk about, there are these universal elements and common elements that we can leverage to bond beyond the differences, right? And probably there are more common elements than not. And actually, on the flip side, I feel sometimes when, say, the love conquers it all, right? And it's like just that one sentiment, if followed in spirit and satsang and the higher consciousness, just takes you to a point where selfless, unconditional love becomes real, not something, like when you walk the walk rather than just talk. So hope to, get there. That's the key. I think Luz was, kind of talking about ego, because ego is our identity, and that is us, and that is what keeps us from melding or just, dissolving into a bigger entity. And so the process is to, like, how do you become limitless from being limited? Is that when you become the energy, when you become the light, when you become something bigger than what you physically are, right? Wow. I don't know. Today I'm not just from inside, even I'm very, very, very energized. So, Arvindji, I saw you shared um, a very recent scientific, article about silence and how silence is important. So, I think one day I'll integrate that into something I've already. I've put a video out on significance of silence, but that'll probably be something we can augment. So, anything you want to share there?
Namaskar, Bhaiya. Namaskar, everyone. Hello, everyone. Happy Saturday. So lucky to join. Really, silence. What can I share? Anything I have in terms of anything in life is given by this satsang and by your dad, who taught me science as well as helped me get through medical school. So, I mean, let's be honest. The best thing this satsang is all about is selfless love, which you demonstrate. Your dad showed in abundance, and so many of us are so lucky to be able to simply be part of it. I was thinking, what keeps us coming back, and the thousands and hundreds of thousands, and I think millions now in India. I repeat, millions in India are coming back to this satsang all the time. What is it? What connects us? I think humbly, it could be that spiritual energy that is selflessly given by Guru Maharaj through Papaji, through you, through everybody. We are so fortunate. Silence simply is all about melting into this big pot of big family of satsang and allowing, the I to become you. And if there is silence, then Param Puj Pandit Maharaj used to say, as you know, silence is where God's presence or that spiritual power's presence is. Where there's silence, there is that presence, that transcendental energy. So again, thank you so much. There's no words that can describe the bliss, the peace. This morning, I was just watching very briefly a satsang video on YouTube, Param Pujya Pandit Maharaj's or dad's as well. And I just felt that bliss, and tears started flowing. And these were tears of joy and bliss. What words can describe that? It takes, so thank you again. And namaste, everyone.
Yeah, Arvindji and I go back to when I was in high school. We used to have like so-called study sessions where no studies. But anyway, I would digress. But I remember listening to the 80s music. Yeah. So Eddie,
That's my fault. That's my fault.
no, those songs still ring as it was yesterday. Yeah. So
Well, just listening to the conversation, and we talked about religions and basically how we have the same goal, or we're searching for the same goal, and then we talked about how we become better people, and we talked about the light and so forth. And what we practice here is a science, and the reason we call it that is because it is pretty much without allegories and parables, and it's focused more on the physics basically of spirituality. And by that I mean this idea that this transcendental light is a representation of what we call the creator. And in many aspects, people study the same concept, but just under different terms. Some people may see it as the son, say, of the creator. And it is through this transcendental energy that we become reunited or reintegrated with that ocean of peace. And so this becomes the path. When we do that, we do these other things like Luz talked about, and that is, be better people. We manifest that light within us, then it shines from inside to outside to the world around us. And so we begin to do things like treat people better and give to people and have empathy for others and compassion. And so this is what we're practicing here by simply focusing on the light and, building that up within us to make this transformation from our lower souls to our higher souls. So this is very much a scientific method, but it applies to all religions and all spiritual movements. So that's the beauty of this thing. And the opportunity that we have as practitioners is to make this a reality, not for just ourselves, but for the coming generations, right? Because in the West, anyways, this is not really practiced a lot amongst the people here, and we can count ourselves among the few, right? almost on a few hands. The number of people that practice here in the West that we can count, obviously greater in the East. But this is an opportunity for us, and I hope people will take that responsibility not as a burden, but as an opportunity to do something not only great for yourself, but for the coming generations as well.
Yeah, see, even in India, what I see is that, people like rituals, people like doing something. Not doing is counterintuitive. So it's like becoming an observer, meditating. Millions in India is like a fraction, a very small fraction. So here also, I think meditation is becoming far more, people are getting to it a lot more. And I think to me, meditation is a lifeline in so many ways that from your behavior perspective, from well-being perspective, from being at a higher consciousness level perspective, being a real human, how you become more giving, how do you embody love, light, and peace. I can go on and on and on. So even if we are a small fraction, I think, I feel, one, that we're fortunate that we're pursuing a higher goal. But the other thing is that it's not just meditating. It is this next step where, you embody this transcendental energy to a point where everybody who comes in contact with you feels it, gets transformed by it, gets affected by it. So you then share without any effort. So get to that point. There was one Buddha, there was one Jesus Christ, there was one, Prophet Muhammad. Why? Because getting to a higher realm is, it's a lot of, I don't know, the journey is not a straight line. Let me just put it that way. It's getting to a higher realm comes with so many hurdles, challenges, and slipping and sliding. And that I have promised myself I need to talk a lot more about. So hopefully we'll, because we can talk about the journey, we can talk about where it takes you, but what are the hurdles, what are the challenges to be aware of, I think is as important.
Do you mind if I just jump in really quick on the topic of universality in different religions? What I find especially a gift is there is like a truth that reverberates throughout all of those faiths, but it's also the differences that are helpful as well. You know, sometimes you can get a perspective that isn't as emphasized or highlighted in one that another one focuses on, you know, or teaches in a different way. And so it's like a kaleidoscope of different beautiful truths that are actually, you know, shared with the world. It is so supremely beneficial to have those different perspectives, I think. And you know, they both contain a universality, they all contain a universality, but even like the differences are exceptionally useful to live a better life and to come close with the divine, I think. So that's one thing that I find to be a gift.
So I think Luz, you touch a point which is very interesting. The way you know, I mean, I was born in a satsang family, and the way satsang evolved within me, I somehow have a very inherent respect for all religions. Interestingly, when you were speaking, what I got reminded of was when Guru Maharaj wrote a book, the first book, highlighting, you know, the benefits and all the good things about satsang and the method and all that. His guru actually threw it away. And he said that he gave a few instructions, and one of them was that when you talk about any other religion or leaders and, you know, founders of the religion, you should use utmost respect. And then he followed that from then on. But yeah, he said, you know, so he you know, Guru Maharaj said that he inspired him to really, you know, think and do things differently going forward. So, yeah. Awesome. Wow. Amazing. Yeah. One of, you know, Ghanshyamji, who, you know, used to be, who leads the traditional online sessions. One of the things he says is like, when I start enjoying the session, that's when it, you know, it's about, you know, then I realize it's about to end. So that's how I feel today. It was really great, a really good discussion, good energy. I'm glad to have you all here. You know, satsang is like, the group energy is like just helping each other. So we are all helping each other in ways that sometimes we don't fathom. So thank you all. Have a great week ahead, and the love, light, and peace be with you. Yeah, thanks, Yuan. So we are having a session, English session. I think that'll be Sunday, February 18th in San Jose. So more details to follow. I think we'll put it on Eventbrite. And thanks, everyone. Take care.
Thanks, everyone. Namaste, Bedi.
Namaste, Bhaiya. Bye.
Namaskar.